Hello. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for coming along to our final panel discussion of the day. Let's get a round of applause for that. So it's been a lovely day. Loads of really amazing conversations been had on this stage throughout the whole entire day. And now's a really great opportunity for us to look a little bit at the wider hospitality world. I think we're very privileged that we work within this wider elements of hospitality, and within that comes some other really great ingredients and some other really great parts of that industry. So this is an opportunity for us to look at some of the other operators within the industry, some people that work in some other fields, and how we are able to pair and work with them to create some amazing products.
Hi everyone, my name is Monica and I do the marketing for the French branch. Before we begin, I just want to give a big round of applause to Derry, who's been organizing the panels all day. And thank you everyone for being here as well for the last panel of the day. We're gonna have a great party tonight and everything. We have the biggest panel we have all day with us today. We have 4 people with us, all from different parts of the gastronomy industry. So let's go around and can we introduce ourselves a little?
Hello everyone. I'm really glad that you are here today to hear our little stories. My name is Michalis, Dimitrakopoulos. I'm coming from Greece. I'm in the coffee industry from 2007 at the beginning, and then in the specialty coffee industry from 2011. Over the years, I'm trying to learn more things, and I'm always curious about experiments and how all these things work together, and to become, let's say, the best version of ourselves. I have been in the world competitions. I took some places, and after that I tried to go deeper in the coffee and, let's say, to leave my fingerprints in this world with the knowledge and all these experiments that I have done to pass to the new generation. I'm the brand ambassador of Scotsman ice system. This year also I wrote a book with Simone, with Scotsman ice, about ice and coffee cocktails and mixologies, because I'm a certified judge in coffee and good spirits. You can find in our booth, you can find our booth in our booth the book. For sure, it's for free, only for friends, for people that they love and they are going to read it. This is the point. I'm here just to speak about balance between different words, coffee, cocktails, and anything that you would like to ask me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm really glad to be here with you today. I'm Nicola Robecchi, the founder of Wilden Herbals. We do infusions of premium quality. And we've been working the last 3 years to develop a patent to allow every coffee machine to become also an infusion machine. And we are ready to actually bring in the industry a big infusion revolution. And we are already starting to see the actual possibility to blend coffee with infusions and to create drinks. And we actually are willing to evolve the bar menu, and we do believe we have a very good solution for that.
Okay, very mysterious.
So, hi everyone. My name is Chiara Buzzi. Thank you for the invitation. I own 2 cocktail bars in not far from here on the Navigli area. One is an American bar, like a vintage one. We have been there for 23 years. so it's quite a lot of time. And the other one, it's a tiki bar, so it's an Hawaiian, Polynesian, Caribbean-style place, very funny. And I'm an author. I don't usually say that I'm a journalist because I'm not, but still I'm writing and collaborating with several magazines. I wrote a book about aperitivo, which was very fun. And then I do consultancies for various brands, restaurants, bars, hotels, events.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Alexandre Renault. I'm a co-founder of Cheese of the World. So we are experts in cheese, not in coffee. So we are based in Paris and we have 4 cheese shops in Paris. We have cellar to mature the cheese, and today we discover pairings between cheese and coffee. That's why we are here. So it was really interesting to do it, and that's why pairings between both different products can be fantastic.
And I think that's a really good segue because the event is called Out of the Box, which means that we're trying to pair different things with coffee, with different ingredients, playing with seasonality, but also kind of going back to the roots of what like the notes are in ingredients, something that's very special in France. Why do you think that the gastronomy experience wants to focus now on pairings, not just with alcohol, but with herbs, with cocktails, with meals, and then with cheese and coffee? Why do you think that pairings have suddenly become such a boom, tasting menus as well?
So I believe that over the years, the people, they would like to learn. Not only the people that they are working behind of the bars and the espresso machines, but also the consumers. So now, because we pass from the age of books to the age of internet, the new generation, we belong to the new generation as well, no matter what. They have a lot of information, so they have the possibility and they have the ability to learn whatever they want in a few minutes. At the past, we have spent a lot of money and a lot of time to read books, to go to other countries, to meet other people and to have conversations, to learn what is a good cocktail. Now it's quite easier, I believe. So there are forums, people that they know very well the consultancies to make menus and all this stuff. They have already write a lot of articles. So this helping a lot the people to understand what is the balance, what is the right way to create a pairing of, for me, for coffee and alcohol.
So for you, it's more of a pairing of different ingredients. Got it. Okay. And Chiara, with the consultations that you do for restaurants, when they want to do a tasting menu between drinks and food, what's the most important advice for this type of pairing?
I think that, as you said before, like one of the key words is actually experience. So like what we are trying to do is like pushing boundaries of the restaurant and gastronomic experience where we haven't been exploring yet. So of course, you can achieve this also with the beverage settle. And so like Italians historically are wine culturally based consumers, but at the same time what we're trying to do is to convert and to push a little bit like normal consumers to discover like spirits, and so also like single spirits in a tasting menu, or maybe like all the vermouth culture that we have, the bitters. Of course, coffee, it's an ingredient and a trend that is becoming more and more common, not just in restaurants, but also like, for example, in the cocktail bars. And again, like some like minor spirits like verjuice or porto or whatever. So I think beverage is becoming more and more important, and all the entrepreneurs are achieving this and learning how to insert a consistent beverage offer also like on beside the tasting menus. That's very important. And it's also like a revenue consistent part for when you are having clients.
It's true that cocktail and wine even is becoming more and more accessible. People aren't as afraid to go do a tasting and kind of explore a little bit more. A lot of those spirits actually do come from herbs as well. So how does that kind of play into like how you recommend to other people how to pair something that's from an herbal distillation to coffee, which is a little bit more chocolatey, sometimes more nutty, especially in Italy?
Yes. So I'm a gastronome. Gastronome from Latin means the pleasure of the stomach. So the first thing we have always to remember is that we have to listen to our body when we do have experience of eating and after eating. And the herbs are very much a very great ingredient to make you feel very small part of the actual aroma construction, and you can use much less salt in the cooking, and you can create as well a longer aftertaste using herbs. And of course, to combine coffee, you often, because the roasting is very aggressive, you need to play with plants that bring as well acidity, that can go beyond bitterness, that like licorice or fennel can give some corners to actually enhance some sensations. It's a whole world, guys. There is a lot you can do.
Okay, I'm excited to see what this herbal infusion revolution is coming. And Alexandre, how would you kind of add to that? Because you just did a coffee and cheese pairing, which I don't think a lot of people have ever done before. And how was it behind the scenes trying to find the pairings?
I think it's that way. You have two ingredients: cheese, coffee, and they have many. It's when you think about coffee or cheese, you think about flavors, you think about aroma, and you try to discover different notes, different texture, and you can find same flavor for both. So find the balance and find the perfect combination.
That's really interesting because I'm hearing from everyone here, the pairings, it's really about balance. But what does balance mean to you, and how, because right now we're also living in social media where there's a little bit of shock value that people look for online as well. So are we leaning towards balance, or sometimes in a pairing, would it be interesting to have a little bit of shock value? And how do you find people respond to these different experiences?
So we're talking about balance, and as you mentioned before, it's all about body. I will explain in a easiest way what balance means. So you are drinking something or you are eating something. If you are going to change your face characteristics, if you are going to smile, if you are going to become like something is strong, so you are changing the face thing, you will probably understand if it's good or not. So if you have an acid, a lot of acidity, and you take to a friend to take a photo when you're eating a lemon, you will see your face characteristics. So it's not balanced. If you're eating something bitter, you will change again your face. But also, if you find something that is really balanced and you are really happy and you really enjoy it, you will see that your face is calm, you are smiling, you are really enjoy it, you are closing your eyes, you are dreaming, you are doing a lot of things. So for balance, for me, it's not, first of all, it's not changing your face. Okay? So, as a judge, also, because I have a lot of friends here that they're judging at the past, we have the rule of smiley poker face, no matter what. So we don't have to say to the competitor that this thing is bad or this thing is very good. So imagine that, because we are talking about body language, for me balance is let's say, the photo of the moment that you are eating or you are thinking cutting something in your face. I don't know if I help you.
So it's kind of what Nicola said in a way where you're listening to your body and how you react to these pairings as well, right? Okay. And Chiara, Nicola, what do you think as well?
So, personally, I don't think that is always a thing of balance. The way we are working at the bar for the pairings, it's like usually either for similarities or differences. And so there are, of course, some drinks that you build according to the taste and the flavors of your dish. But some other times you can also have a drink and you need to find a plate that goes with the drink. So sometimes it's not always the dish that runs the rules, but sometimes the relationship it's different. And when you're looking for something that goes like in a different way is because of course you want to create a little bit what you were saying before, like a little bit of shock for those who are experiences what you are proposing them, and also because it's always a little bit more challenging, I would say, because of course if you have something that goes with the flow of the dish, it's normal and it's manageable and it's what you expect somehow. But then if you just do something that is not predictable using different ingredients or modern techniques somehow, that I think can enhance your experience, overall experience.
What do you mean by modern technique?
Like maybe there are a lot of people that just come to the bar and maybe they haven't really been to like a modern cocktail bar or like a professional cocktail bar. I would say maybe you live in the province and maybe you have like great drinks, but like simple drinks. And so of course now that you can avoid to you can use like labs. And so you have, I don't know, rota vapor, or you can do clarifications. You can use gels and like various technical machines. Of course, you are able to reach different textures, different single ingredients can be treated in a different ways, and so you have from the same ingredients various parts, and maybe you are not used to have all that different textures and colors and flavors from the same ingredients at the same time. So that it's something that is completely new for a certain type of audience.
Thank you. Nicola?
Yes. So in my point of view, what it is pairing, actually it's our daily life. We wake up, we have breakfast often, we have food and drink together. So it's not anything that is far from our classic approach to food in everyday life. I think what today is very much exciting is that we are going kind of beyond sugar and alcohol to create balance. And this opens a very wide spectrum of opportunity to create new balances, new pairings, and to actually also bring customers to new emotions. Because often in a tasting menu, you get to an end, you are drunk, you don't feel anymore. Maybe after the third glass and all these aromas and tastes, you don't clean your mouth. So it's a whole, I think, new approach. We kind of broke the rules now. And a new world of balance is ahead.
That's true. You're seeing a lot of natural ingredients coming back, especially in France, you see a lot of going back to seasonality of ingredients and introducing that to the menu and being brave enough to say, okay, I'm going to change it every few months to find that balance. That makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I think it also plays with, we're talking about new technique, modern techniques, but also playing with old techniques like with cheese and fermentation. And I'm wondering how fermentation because there's also, as we all know, there's fermentation in coffee, and you learned about that recently, but how do you see the similarities between that?
I think in the cheese, I can maybe compare a cellar, where we mature the cheese, as a machine. It's one of the last moments then we can do the last
finish.
exactly to get the perfect texture, the perfect aroma for the cheese. And I think it's look like similar to coffee, the machine. So
That makes total sense. And for, I don't know how many people here have been to Paris or France, but typically you do end the meal with either cheese or dessert and with your coffee. And we're seeing more and more people using different types of coffee and playing with not just the chocolatey, nutty flavors at the end of the meal, but also maybe with something more playful. And how would you kind of recommend restaurants to start introducing great quality coffee, different types of coffee that maybe aren't what they're used to in their menus? How would you recommend them to kind of get started in that journey?
So for me, it's all about services. It's all about services and communication. If we like to sell something, if we like to promote something, we have to go and to explain to the people what we are going to give them. And this is very important because sometimes we forget the art of slow. We are eating very fast. We are, for example, you are eating in the morning a banana, and sometimes you can understand, you can feel the flavor of the banana because you like to eat it to go to your work. Sometimes you have to remember the art of slow. Slow down, relax, enjoy the moment, feel the flavors because we have our sensation, we are lucky and we can smell, we can taste, we can feel all these beautiful things of this world. So in the menu of a restaurant, for example, you have to explain to the people, to the consumers, the whole experience. Not even the liquids that you are mixing, not even the extraction that you are doing in the coffee. Because sometimes when we're talking about coffee, I think that everybody knows we're talking about water. 90% of our coffees, daily coffees, is water. So if you don't have good quality of water, you don't have good quality of coffee. It's totally different. So the people have to start and to explain what they're giving, what they're serving, step by step, about the quality, for example, for us, about the quality of the ice, about the quality of the liquids, about the quality of the coffee, and we have to give the information. It's about a concept. It's not only just the last drink. It's a process. So it's about services, approach of connection, and contact your products to your consumers.
And thank you. I think that's really important. It's about the kind of understanding people's willingness to learn, of course, of what they're about to consume. And Chiara, if a client or someone who reads your book asks you, how can I kind of get started in espresso journey or coffee or learn about a specific type of liqueur, like how would you recommend them to get started?
Yeah, well, I actually, like, just one word connected to what Michalis was saying is that, like, I totally agree with that, with your words. I think one of the biggest issues for restaurants, it's also like educating your staff. So before having the possibility to sell like a proper coffee menu, you have to educate your staff to know what they are selling. And with all the specialty coffee things and everything that is connected now to this ingredient, it's quite complex. So you need to be very focused and motivated because you need to want to, of course, to reach a different objective with your clients. And this is a little bit what we are trying to do with the spirits at the bar. So when you have a person who never had a single spirits for tasting, you can't propose him something that is maybe very good, but too complex and too hard to understand, because otherwise the reaction that you will have is just to push him even further away. Instead, you need to start with, of course, like an entry level, something that can be simple, maybe not the best that you can have, but approachable and understandable. And so from there, of course, you need to be curious, you need to do a little bit of research also as a consumer, but then everything comes easier afterwards. And I think this is a little bit something that you can do pretty much with everything that you don't know, like spirits or vermouth or coffee at the same time. And when we introduced coffee into the drinks, we were not expecting such a good reaction from our consumers, but maybe it's because, like, logically coffee, it's an ingredient that we all know, so it doesn't scare more than what like pandan or guava probably does at the same time. And so we are selling coffee drinks a lot more than what we were expecting. So that was also like a great result.
I think it's nice to know that people are still so curious about trying new things, and that type of curiosity.
You need to guide them a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, it's not that all the people, like when you have clients that come to the bar and say, I want my spritz, and you say, okay, but you are in a place where you can maybe try something that is similar to a spritz, so that can give you like that aperitivo idea, but it can be different or more interesting. But then, you know, you need to persuade them and to, I don't know, bring them to your side. And it's not always easy, you know.
Yeah, like putting yourself in their shoes and starting from zero, and for sure. Nicola, how would you kind of introduce coffee into a menu?
So it's quite interesting. We have just launched our innovation for extraction called Herb Press. And in the last 1 month and a half, I've been visiting a lot of roasteries, and I've been presenting this tool to them. And I've been surprised to see that they actually see in our innovation the opportunity to make, I don't know, a chai latte espresso. And for instance, to blend the two worlds with an easiness that maybe in my point of view as a tea maker, I wouldn't cross these two worlds so instinctively, just in a small drink. And that actually is really good. So I think the new generation ahead is challenging also us as professionals to bring out, like out of the box, all of these new actually ideas to make entertainment, but also the theater of everyday life richer. I'm, as a gastronom, we had a professor of anthropology who said to us, guys, you have to remember always that if you're having someone who is going out to dinner, this person is not hungry. If going out to dinner, it means that you're going out to enjoy. Otherwise, you stay home. And we today are forced a lot to live out of home with all this new lifestyle and our disconnection with kitchen. So I believe that basically hospitality places are the new place where people get educated from educated staff and they bring home things and they get themselves rich, like they were doing with the grandma.
And it feels like almost like a little luxury, of course. And I just wanted to ask Alexandre before we ask our last question. I think that's like what you're saying. It's like how we're pushing people's curiosity. We're saying you can bring this like nice ingredient home to try. And how do you create a great experience when you send customers home with their cheese? Because for you, it's not like a sit-in experience. So how do you create that?
Yeah, coffee. It's always, not always, but a moment for morning when you think coffee, when you think about cheese, more by night after work, and it's very similar because it's moment when people can share, and it's moment where people can discuss, big discussion between friends, family, and I think when we associate both. Education, you can find something different, something original. And when you speak about tradition, new tradition, in France, in the north of France, when we speak about coffee and cheese, we speak about morning time with washed-rind cheese, strong cheese, named Maroilles. Maroilles, it's made in the north of France, and they eat Maroilles every morning with coffee. So tradition, new tradition, we can maybe find something special.
That's really beautiful. Thank you. I think that's a great way to kind of like round up our discussion here on what do you think would you like to see as a new tradition in our pairings? And it doesn't have to be coffee, but what do you kind of see as the new kind of tradition coming up with new generation? Like you said, like you all said, it's about the experience. It's about creating a moment and learning. So what would you like to see coming up as a new tradition in pairings?
I think one thing that really help us to go forward is to train ourselves and to try to train ourselves when we're talking about pairing and we're talking about flavors. We have to train ourselves about memory, because actually flavors coming from the pairing of our sensation from the nose, orthonasal and retronasal, and also the memory. So if we are not train ourselves every day in the things that we are eating, we will never be well prepared for the new things that are coming. So I think if you are eating just because you have to eat, there is no reason to go forward in this let's say kind of out of the box pairing of flavors. But because we have the ability to have the memory and our sensation, I think if you like to go forward on this thing, you have to do more trainings, more seminars to learn from people, and believe me that nobody could be different from let's say the person that is sitting on my side. We have all the same biologically things, sensations, so we have just to learn things and then we can be professionals. You have nothing to afraid, you have just to feeling your and trust yourself. If you like it, you have to say. If you don't like it, also you have to say it. And you have to be very, very, let's say, open mind in new flavors, in new ingredients, to try it. Like in chemistry, that they say, I will try it because I make it and I will see. So just try your experiments to see what's happening. And then if you like it, keep it and create something new.
Thank you. And so we want to see more self-learning. Nicola, what do you want to see coming up in pairings?
I think what I want to see is more freedom. I think that we've been growing up with a lot of rules, that things should be done a way, that another thing should be done another way, that you cannot do that, that this is not nice. And I think out of the box today is the new reality, and there is a lot of new pairings that aren't yet on the table. And I believe this is being accelerated a lot with also the personalization of diets that we have more and more, and all the allergies and intolerance. This shape a lot our as well capacity to pair, because also we have more the possibility to eat less things, and then more creativity for the pairing as well.
More creativity, more freedom, for sure. And Chiara, what would you like to see?
I think we've been used since now was to have the person responsible for the beverage option into a gastronomic experience connected to a sommelier. While more and more that we go further on, we need a person that has a know-how and skills about like coffee and drinks and non-alcoholic spirits. So what happened to me many times was to have pairings that were proposing single spirits and drinks and cocktails and wine, but then ruled by a sommelier. And of course, the sommelier is lacking a lot of knowledge in that sense. So what I would love to see, it's more and more maybe like beverage managers or like people who have a wider knowledge towards the beverage industry. And so they can offer also, like technically speaking, a different approach and a different experience in the beverage side.
I definitely, and it relates to your other point about not like passing on that knowledge to staff so that they can kind of inform the clientele as well what they're drinking. Alexandre?
I think they resume a lot that coffee can permit to explore something new, something without alcohol. And I think for sommelier, it's another way to learn more and to learn different.
Thank you, everybody, for this lovely discussion. I think we're all here because we love food, we love to eat. So thank you for getting us a little bit hungry. And I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the event. We also have the party happening later on tonight as well. So ask the Marzocco team for any information about that. And thank you, everybody, again. Thank you.